I want to talk about another issue about fathering styles. There's a rule book that was written in your family. Now, you may not, there's not an actual rule book, but there's an emotional rule book that your father wrote for you. And you're like, my dad was gone. Never met him. He's a derelict. My dad was an alcoholic. Fair enough. There's a rule book, though. It may not be a rule book you want to live by, but there is one. And part of our talk here is, what are the rules behind here? Not the ones in front of you, okay? Don't cheat, don't do this, don't do that. You got those. I'm talking about the ones back here. There's 4 rules that I want to talk to you about. Money, power, sex, and careers. Those 4 issues, if you're clear about those 4 from your dad, I'm just going to say you're pretty clear. The rest will fall into place. And the most powerful rules are the ones that are unspoken. And I want you to take a minute right now and think about, what are the rules that I got from my dad on money, sex, careers, and power. And what I mean by power, how do you handle conflict? Do you get quiet? Do you withdraw? Do you confront the issue? Do you talk it through? Is it safe to talk it through? These 4 rules impact what you do every day. And then let's take it to the romantic level, relationship level. Tell me where these 4 don't play into it. Exactly. They play all over it. And for men, understanding money could be the difference between being broke and being very successful, internally and externally. Sexuality, there's not enough time to talk about it, but I'll suffice to say that the more you understand your sexuality, and it's okay to be who you are and what you are, you're way ahead of the curve. And power, conflict resolution. Everyone jokes about anger management. And I'll just say this, anger is the quickest deterrent to any personal growth or success. Because underneath anger's here, what's underneath? Low self-esteem, feeling powerless, feeling dismissed, disengaged, unimportant. Pull those out by the root. You learn them at home, you can change it. If there's one rule I have found that have derailed men, men don't cry. Men don't show emotion. Men don't talk. Let me just say it as a guy, you're screwed. If that's one of the rules, get the whiteboard, erase it. I suggest you write these rules down on a whiteboard and then write the antidote to it. Men don't cry, and the antidote would be, I have empathy. I have the ability to feel what I'm feeling and also what you're feeling. That's a game changer for men, straight up. A guy that can express emotions, I'm not talking about crying at the drop of a dog walking across the street. I'm talking about genuinely being upset, and legitimately so. That is powerful, because to be vulnerable takes power. And that's why I get back in the rule book. What's the thing about conflict resolution? Power is being honest. That really hurt me. It kills me. That's empowering. I have not met a community that rule's not in effect. Ladies, women, if there's one rule I've heard in my practice across the board, don't trust men. I've heard that from more fathers said to their daughter, don't trust men, or hyphen, don't be a slut. Okay, talk about a double-edged sword. If you don't trust men, you can't trust your dad. Is your dad projecting the fact that he doesn't feel good about himself, so therefore don't trust a guy who doesn't feel good about himself? Or is it about men aren't reliable, or men leave? Men will leave you empty, they'll leave you hurting, they'll leave you desperate. Powerful rule book, powerful rules. And the thing about don't be a slut, in quotes, is I don't know what to do with your sexuality, so don't bring it into the home. Most fathers, their daughters get 12, 13, 14 years old, they much rather just run out the door with their hair on fire than deal with their daughter's blossoming sexuality. That's what I've seen professionally, why men say things like that to their daughter. Whether you're 16, 26, or 66, that's a rule that can be rewritten. Because your sexuality is part of you. It's part of your passion, part of your energy, it's part of your father factor. Because women get a lot of their sexuality as a reaction to their fathers. And if your dad left, many women think, I'm not pretty enough, smart enough, good enough. And that creates desperation. Wherein boys, it creates rage. These are rules that can be rewritten. But to rewrite them, you have to know what they are first.